Hello and welcome to another new episode of Learning Simplified. In our previous tutorial, we had learned about various image classes being used based upon this UI Semantic. Now, in this tutorial, we will know how to introduce images along with the text into our project. Stay tuned. Now, as we can see that this is a pre-built project, and here we can see that we have used some kind of images along with the text. This is a spaced image which is being used along with this paragraph element right over here, and in the similar fashion we can see that the same image now appears at the left part of this particular site, and the text comes in span right along with the image that we had introduced. And in the last case, we can see that there is another image at the last paragraph of this individual element, and we can see that the image is now spaced at the extreme right along with the text in an alignment with it in the extreme left. So this is what we are about to introduce into our project. We will see how to work upon with it. Stay tuned. So the first and the of course thing is we are about to create a container first. Next we are about to create the grid, and next we will be creating a row and a column. So there it goes. We have created everything that we need in the first place. The very first thing that we are going to do, we are about to use a segment class in the first place, and here we will be using some paragraph elements right over here. Now we need some text for it. First of all, let's toggle word wrap view, and we can see that the proper view is now turned on. So let's copy it. There it goes. Copy this text from here and let's paste it within the paragraph element. First of all, we have created paragraph 1. In the next case, we will be creating another paragraph. There it goes, and we'll be creating another one. So we had created 3 consecutive paragraphs into our project and nothing else. First of all, press Ctrl S, head back to your project. This is the project that we had left in our last tutorial. So we are right now reloading it, and we can see that already there's been a segment which has been created into our project as we had done into our text editor. So there are 3 paragraphs, and here it goes. 3 paragraphs have been created right over here. Now in the next case, we are going to introduce a class name right in the middle of this text, which in the first case we'll be using an image source. Let's create it in the first place. So we are about to introduce an image. So let's use this foxmall.png. And in this particular case, we will be creating a class known as UI mini space image. So we have introduced 3 classes right over here, this mini, spaced, and image. And in the first case, all we are going to do, press Ctrl S, press Ctrl S, head back to your project and reload. And you can see that the image is practically been turned on right over here, but it is not appearing. This is due to the fact we had made some kind of problem. Oh, here is the problem. We haven't provided the slash here, so that is why this problem is appearing here. So we can see that in the first case we have introduced an image right within the text element, the paragraph that we had created earlier, and all of them are practically working So this is what the first thing that we need to know. In the second case, if we now used here another image source, and we will be creating another image here. We have imported another image, and in this class, in the very first case, there it goes, we will be now introducing this UI. The size of the image, it will be mini. It will be using this paste class name right over here, and in the last case we are mentioning that this is the right. Let's keep it just ahead of this spaced class that we had created. And in the final case, we are mentioning that this is another class name which is known as image. I think we should be keeping it at the beginning of this individual paragraph, and for this left alignment we should be choosing out this end part of this paragraph element that we had inserted. So this is the amendment that we need to make. Head back, and on reloading we can see that this will be the obvious result. So the point is, the image that we had introduced here, it is practically shifting this text into extreme right, putting it itself into this extreme left position. And the reverse thing happens in case of this left spaced UI mini left spaced image that we had created already over here, and it is practically being aligned at the end of this paragraph element. So there it goes. This is how we may use some kind of images into our project. We may define these proper sizes here instead of mini. If we use here this tiny image, so reload, and we can see that this is going to be the exact result. So instead of mini, we had used a tiny left spaced image, and this is how we may adjust the size anywhere we want. We may use this medium image class over here, and we can see that this will be the obvious result. So we may set the size of the image in an accordance to the need of the project, and we may set it anytime differently or separately as we wish to do. So instead of this medium, I think this is the mini image that we'll be using. The same thing goes for here. We will be using this mini class. Press Ctrl S, reload, and everything comes right back into an orderly fashion. So that's it for today's tutorial. In the next tutorial, we are going to know about the alignment of text elements along with the image that we have introduced, that we have imported into our project. So if you guys have liked this tutorial, then do not hesitate to hit the red subscribe button down below. Hope to see you guys into our next tutorial. Till then, bye.